It is Monday, the 13th of May, 2024. My name is Pigeon Rose, and this is my song of the day. There's an artist who I've mentioned a few times, I think, already in this show, but this is actually going to be the first time I cover one of his songs. Cover makes it sound like I'm going to sing it. I mean, I probably will. Talk about one of his songs, rather. And that is Andrew Huang. Andrew Huang is a Singaporean-Canadian singer, songwriter, musician, multi-instrumentalist, Renaissance man. He kind of got big with Songs to Wear Pants To, which was a website where he would take song requests. Like, people would send him a message that would give him an idea for a song, and then he'd record it, and it would be like less than a minute long. And a lot of the time, it was just him making fun of the person who sent him the request, like if there was any sort of typo, or if he could like interpret it really literally. Like, there was one of them that was a song about a guy singing to a girl that he has to move. I'm sorry that I have to move. And it was supposed to be like moving away from town, but he made it into a song about like someone standing still and needing to physically move. That kind of thing, you know. But he eventually started releasing more serious music and has like a massive career now. He collaborates with so many people. He makes a lot of videos about music and about gear. He does various projects with Rob Scallon. He just does a bunch of stuff now. Anyway, one of the first things he did outside of Songs to Wear Pants To was a project called Your Heart, which I know very little about, but Your Heart's thing at the start was that they were doing an album for each season. So they were going to do a summer album, an autumn album, a winter album, and a spring album. They did summer and autumn, and then Andrew, for whatever reason, abandoned Your Heart as a project, and then went on to finish winter and spring 4 years later under his own name, and then they had the full 4 seasons. Those 4-season albums are really fucking good, all 4 of them. I'd say summer is probably still my favorite. I think my favorites go in order, honestly. Summer, then autumn, then winter, then spring. But they're all good for different reasons. The reason I bring this up is because the song we're talking about today is the first song on autumn. I know it's not autumn right now that I'm doing this, but as I mentioned yesterday, this week's theme is Wov, only Wov. And this song is called Love Number One. I don't think I need to give you any more prep than that. It's a pretty standard sort of rock-ish song. So we're going to listen to it now and then come back in a few minutes and talk about it. There it is, Love Number One by Andrew Huang. I thought it was a fitting thing with the theme to be Love Number One when I'm talking about love. But right off the bat, I think the title is very interesting because there's a few ways you could think about it. Is it the first song about love? Is it a song about a first love? You know, there's a few ways you could interpret that. And the lyrics themselves are kind of hard to interpret as well. It's simple, but it isn't. It feels like it could be a breakup song or it could be a getting back together song, which is why Love Number One is an interesting title. Because, maybe it's referring to going back to your first love after something has happened. Either you dated someone else or you broke up and you've been single for a while and you want to go back. Or it's just about the awkwardness of a first relationship. So we've got, are we singing right now or are we spilling our guts? Are we finding our way or are we making it up? The lyrics do this whole back and forth thing a lot. And are we singing right now or are we spilling our guts? Makes me think like, are we having a good time or are we arguing? Singing, being happy, spilling our guts, being sad. It's just what it makes me think of. Are we finding our way or are we making it up? Do we know what we're doing in this relationship? Do we have confidence in it? Or are we just making it up as we go along? Once you really look around, those eyes will never ever shut. That makes me think like, once we look away from, like, consider other possibilities than this relationship, then we'll never stop doing that, right? Once you really look around, those eyes will never ever shut. Like, once you start thinking about other people, you're not going to stop thinking about other people because the option is there, is what that makes me think of. Remember, this is all conjecture in my opinion, and it might not be correct. And then the chorus is, I was there when it happened, this screaming and clapping tonight, and this love that I've heard of so easily stirred up tonight. Again, this makes me think of an argument, right? That's what it always made me think of because of the screaming and clapping, right? And the love that I've heard of so easily stirred up, it makes me think like stirring up the love, meaning bringing up the memory of it, I guess, but it could also mean like disturbing it. But reading this in preparation for recording this now, I was thinking it also sounds like a concert. Are we singing right now? Screaming and clapping, so easily stirred up tonight. It makes me think of a concert showing affection to a singer. I don't know if that's intentional, but it's an interesting metaphor for a relationship, kind of talking about fans and the things they're a fan of and the relationship therein. Like, screaming and clapping doesn't have to mean arguing. It can mean support, like at a concert or like a football game or something, you know. Screaming and clapping being an enthusiastic thing, which is interesting now to reconsider the other lyrics in that way. If it's heartache that you want, well, we're fresh out. I always thought that was funny, the way he repeats that. He stutters it a bit. But you can have a kiss from God that will make your soul shout. So that makes it sound less like a breakup song and more like a getting back together song. If it's heartache that you want, will refresh out. You know, I'm not going to give you heartache. That's not what I'm here for. But you can have a kiss from God that will make your soul shout. It's a bit, it's a lot, but it makes me think, like, you know, the idea that if it's heartache that you want makes me think maybe he's singing to a self-destructive partner. Like, I won't do this for you, but I can show you that I love you. You can have a kiss from God. And then the chorus again, and the bridge with a whoa. See, I told you I'd sing the song. Then the final verse is, are we putting up a wall or are we breaking it down? And then the chorus repeats twice. Yeah, I think it's relatively simple in the fact that it's obviously about love, what with the title, but it's interesting to think of the lyrics because they can be interpreted as a breakup song or a getting back together song, or just a profession of love song, like a progression of like sorting out that first love, trying to figure it out. Something that just occurred to me now, what with the line about possible infidelity, love number one, love should be your number one priority. Anyway, there's many ways to interpret it, and I think it's interesting that way, that it could be about a breakup or getting back together or first love troubles or a concert, apparently. And musically, I did kind of offhandedly refer to it as a standard rock song, but it is interesting the way it stops and starts. And there's violin in it as well. Love me some violin. And the bridge of the whoa. Like, it's not the most innovative thing in the world, but it is good. And it's a great start to an album as well. Starting just with the drum and then into the guitar. Really love it. I don't think I had much else for this. This might be my shortest one. It's just a song I very much enjoy, and you will be hearing a lot more of me talking about songs, not just from the Seasons Project, but just in general from Andrew Huang. But I think most of the ones I want to talk about are from the Seasons Project because I love those 4 albums. I love them. Get it? I'll definitely at least talk about Love Number 2 and Your Heart. Yeah. I'll also be linking these albums on Bandcamp so you can buy them, because Andrew Huang stuff isn't all on YouTube or Spotify, but a lot of it's on Bandcamp. This song is on YouTube and Spotify, I'm just saying in general. So if I'm doing Andrew Huang, I'm probably going to be linking his Bandcamp as well. You should also watch his YouTube videos, particularly 1st of October and Sonic Boom are really entertaining. It's him collaborating with Rob Scallon to make up songs in like short periods of time, and also his series of producers flipping the same sample or remixing the same song and yada yada yada. It's also very interesting. Anyway, I think that's pretty much it for today. Tune in tomorrow for more songs about love. Okay, that's it. I'll talk to you tomorrow.
Break it down.
If it's heartache that you want, will refresh out. You know, I'm not going to give you that. I'm not gonna break your heart. It's a different Andrew Huang song.